Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is that side character, chapter 26, and this one is titled Gaming Convention. Who's making you giggle, sunshine? Lolita asked with a cheeky grin. Me. I'm making myself laugh because I'm hilarious. Okay, I'm annoying, but I'm also hilarious, you said, giggling again before putting your phone in your pocket. You are always such a delight, she tittered, going back to her post at the front desk while you continued to work, grabbing the broom nearby to sweep the floor while you thought about stuff. Next week is the gaming convention. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. Going with Kenma, just us, alone, together. Oh my god. Is this a date? You paused mid-sweep and stared at the white fluffy cat, known as Mondo, in the cage in front of you. No, it's not a date, you bumblenum. It's just a thank you to Kenma for being nice. You smiled down at the broom and kept going, humming a happy little tune to yourself as you finished up for the night. Kenma the cat slowly crept to the front of his cage as you swept your way off towards the dustpan at the door, watching you with a curious look in his eye. You'd been around enough for him to be getting used to you, and he liked your happy nature. You were predictable. The humans that he knew weren't like that, but you seemed different to them. Finally, the day of the gaming convention arrived, and your stomach was twisted up like a pretzel as you tried on every piece of clothing that you owned. During that time, you also found your diary from when you were 10, read some of it, cringed, found a random plastic key in a box under your bed, and then turned your room upside down looking for the lock that it fit into. Found a shoebox, also under your bed, that was full of rocks, sat there staring into it for a good 10 minutes, found the lip gloss that you had lost 2 years ago and opened it. It still smelled like strawberries, and then once you had completed all of that, you went back to revisiting a few more outfits in case they actually looked better than the one that you were currently in. You were taking your cosplay gear in a separate bag because you didn't want Kenma to see you in it just yet. You wanted to surprise him. 10 a.m. finally came around and you left your house and walked to his, feeling a little nervous about the day ahead. But the second you saw him, not in school uniform and looking very hot indeed, you forgot all about your nerves for the day and went with nerves from being around him and finding him cute instead. I'm excited, he said in an even, unexcited sounding voice, and you nodded enthusiastically. Same, you said brightly, refusing to look at him for fear of blushing and giving yourself away. Let's go. You fell in step beside him and headed to the closest train station to catch the train to the convention. There wasn't much talk as you looked at the different platforms and worked out which would get you there the quickest. Then you were off on the train to head to the convention centre. It looked like it was going to be a popular event, as a number of people hopped onto the same train as you and Kenma, excitedly chatting about what they were going to do once they got to the gaming convention. A few were in cosplay, and Kenma was staring shyly at them. Do you like their outfits? You asked him as a group of guys hopped on at the next stop. He nodded. Did you want pictures with them? You asked. He nodded again. Go and ask them, you encouraged him. He shook his head. No, it's okay. Okay, here, I'll go, you said, getting up and walking over to them. Hi, you greeted happily. Can I have a selfie with you guys? They looked at you and smiled. Yeah, sure, one said, stepping in beside you and crouching down so that he would be about the same height as you, as the others crossed around behind you and then got into the selfie. You took a few pictures, then thanked them again and went back to sit with Kenma and show him the pictures. Here, you said, I'll send them to you. You selected a few and then sent them to his phone, and he pulled his phone out and looked down at them. Thanks, he said softly as he flicked through them. No worries, you replied. As more people filed in at each stop, you and Kenma had to stand up to let older people sit down, and you found it hard to balance as the train bumped every now and again. You were a little too short to hold on to the handrails that hung from the roof, and you grunted with annoyance as you tried to grab one that was swinging just overhead. Just hold on to me, Kenma said, calmly reaching an arm out to pull you into him. The train lurched and you fell into him, grabbing onto his shirt to steady yourself. At suddenly finding yourself in his arms, you froze up, and that's where you stayed, safely against him until the next stop. And thankfully, or not, that was your stop, so you let go of him and you both hopped off the train together. It wasn't hard to know where to go because there were hordes of people all heading in the same direction as you and Kenma, so you just got swept along with them until you came to the front doors and, once having your ticket scanned, you were in. Kenma's eyes widened when he saw all of everything inside. This was like a type of heaven for him, and you grabbed a hold of the back of his shirt so as not to lose him in the crowd as he beelined for one of the stands. You chuckled to yourself as you were dragged through the throngs of people and likened it to letting an excited puppy lead you by the leash. That's pretty much how half the morning went, you just being taken from stall to stall by Kenma as he held onto the back of his shirt. You didn't really understand much of what was going on, but he seemed to be enjoying himself, and so that was fine by you. Hey, he said back to you as you tripped behind him and yanked his shirt for the 5th time. Hold my hand. You choke me every time you trip over, he said casually, extending his hand back to you, and you gingerly took it in yours and let him lead you by the hand instead. Or, there goes chapter 26, and chapter 27 will be tomorrow. See you then.